Hi guys, and welcome back to Tommy's Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again, we have a great engagement in between the two pro players from the South Korean scene. This game has been played in the year 2012, so a little bit of a retro replay here for you guys. 10 years ago this game has been played. Now let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As we are spawning here in the upper right in the blue, it is Neox Carp, aka HIYA. A very strong opponent here for BISU, who is spawning here in the lower left in the purple as HIYA 1004. So BISU with his AKA here. Both of them are spawning on a 4 location map in here, as BISU is opening up here with a pylon next to his nexus, so he's not wishing to do a fast expansion build. We did see many replays of him going for a fast expand when it comes to a 4 spawning location map, but this time placing here a casual pylon, and I'm pretty sure that he's going to continue with a gateway. Let's have a quick look at HIYA as he's opening up here with a supply depot next to his command center, perhaps continuing here with a barracks just to wall in here really nicely against an early aggression. There's that gateway here from BISU. So let's just see exactly what BISU is going to prepare for us. Of course, he's much known for his Dragoon gameplay, for his Zealot gameplay. Reavers could be a possibility, High Templars could be a possibility, and later on an Arbiter or even Carriers could of course also be a possibility here for him against the Terran. Now when it comes to the Terran, of course many Terrans really like to go into mechanical units, like we've seen many Terrans do so in our recent replays here on this channel. And here we have this SCV building this barracks, I believe it is, yes, a barracks into this position, perhaps later on to be used just to block here the entrance. The 2-minute mark is off, so we already see here BISU moving out here with his probe. Gas is finished. This should be his cybernetic score. Perhaps he's going straight into Dragoons in here. Of course, Dragoons, if you micro them really correctly, really nice, they can be early on really deadly against any Terran, especially against those Marines. Now let's just see, both players are starting to scout out the map in here. BISU is going to meet up really soon with this SCV, so things will be really clear for him, as he's going to pretty much see now the expansion move out here by HIYA, and also HIYA nicely placing here a Marine, perhaps just to fend off the early scouting here from BISU. Let's just have a look. Did anything change into the main? No, just that range upgrade is being done here for those Dragoons, and the first Dragoon is really soon going to pop out. Finally we have this probe into this position, sees that expansion in here, so let's just have a look at his reaction. Going to migrate back and perhaps send out a Dragoon or two towards his enemy in here. In comes that SCV, but pretty soon the Dragoon will also come out, so the SCV will be in some difficulties. He sees, however, the build order here from BISU, so the pretty standard stuff. No Zealots for him, just going straight into Dragoons in here. Nice 3 Marines in here, as if he's producing even more Marines we might see an early move out here by the Terran, perhaps backed up with a tank or 2. Now let's have a look. Those Marines are heading out in the wrong direction, interestingly enough. Perhaps HIYA wishes to just scout here for that probe, perhaps checking for some proxy pylons into robotics facility, but there is no such thing here, as BISU is still moving out here with his Dragoon, and perhaps going to wait for many more Dragoons, but he will also very likely go into an expansion as well, as the expansion here from HIYA is already pumping here minerals. Worker wise they're both at a 22, almost 22 worker count, and there is that expansion. Of course BISU has to follow here HIYA's tactic, given the fact that the economy should be balanced here for both players, and the range will be very soon upgraded here for BISU, as he's pretty soon going to be annoying as possible here with those 2 Dragoons against this bunker. HIYA should of course react with that, with 2 SCVs here into this position just to repair it. And yeah, so the pretty standard stuff, as we've closed here at the 5-minute mark. So here we go, BISU going for that bunker, and of course HIYA reacting with 2 SCVs. So yeah, BISU also buying nice time here for his expansion into this position. Let's have a look, did anything change here into this main? This might be a robotics facility. Of course early on Protoss really need those observers just to fend off a attack with those vultures, with those mines in here. This should be a barracks. There's that barracks here for HIYA, and also an armory is being placed here as well. So yeah, the pretty standard stuff here by the Terran versus BISU here. BISU needs to be careful with one of those Dragoons, but also dealing nice damage, and given the fact that these 3 SCVs have to repair here into this position, they are not mining, so it's a nice strategy here for any Protoss against the Terran. Many Protoss really like to do this, because if there's 4 Dragoons in here, there should also be 4 SCVs repairing it. Even one SCV might get targeted here by BISU, but no, BISU actually buying time. He knows he is pretty much in control of this game right now, and there is his second expansion in here, but this will be really soon fended off here by the siege tank ability by HIYA, and look at that, he even goes for those weapons upgrade and armor upgrade, so really nice job here by him. Let me just see, where did he hide that armory? Oh, there is two armories into this position, barely noticeable, and there is that one siege tank already shooting here at BISU. So BISU needs to, of course, pretty slowly, he is microing those Dragoons nicely back in here. So the early aggression, the early annoyance has been fended off, but remember those 4 SCV did not mine here for HIYA, as once again things are settling down. BISU even placing here a pylon into this position, just to know how the timing is for the expansion here for the Terran, as this expansion here for BISU is pretty soon going to finish up in here. 2 nice pylons here being placed, perhaps just to block here the entrance a little bit, and it's 3 gateways here for BISU. Let's just check. First observers will also pop out. Is he going for some High Templars? Perhaps Dark Templars could be a good idea with a shuttle early on, but I think that if you also guys look at the timer, this is a very long game, so yeah, let's just see exactly how things will unfold in here. A nice barracks placed into this position, perhaps he's going to float around the map just to explore the map, and 2 pylons just to block here the entrance. This pylon also very important here for BISU, just to see when that expansion is going to come in here. And there is a nice hidden starport here, sorry, for the Terran, so we might see some dropship harassment, some, yeah, let's have a look. Well, this is another factory, so yeah, like mass factory, so mass mechanical build order, the pretty standard stuff with a nice hidden starport like I told you guys. So we might see a dropship harassment with some siege tanks, or it could be of course a race just to hunt down some of those probes, but I'm pretty much sure that he's going for dropships. However, let's just see exactly what the plans here for HIYA are, as BISU is still scouting here the entrance of the main base of the Terran, nicely placing here a observer into this position. Even a probe is being left in here, so BISU playing it very defensively. He knows the fact that he is on the 3 base in here versus the only 2 base here from the Terran, as the Terran even adding here a science facility, so he might go into some science vessels. Interestingly enough, for science vessel with EMP are very strong against the shields here from the Protoss. So yeah, let's just see, more and more is being added here by BISU. A nice hidden Stargate with a Templar archive, and of course more gateways are being added here as well. Weapons on 1 upgrades is being done. HIYA also putting much importance here for his upgrades, 1 already being finished here for those siege tanks. But like you can see, both players are playing very defensively in here, so still no major engagement. It's still the waiting game here for both players. So yeah, BISU pretty much just having here observers all over the map, just to see exactly when or if the Terran is going to move out. And we have a dropship indeed here being placed for HIYA, so HIYA really soon might move out, and a very late second expansion here for HIYA as well, given the fact that BISU already has 63 workers versus only 47 here from HIYA. However, HIYA with those vultures might deal massive economic damage in here, so he's already moving out here with some vultures, placing some mines, but in the end is going to be fended off. However, this position could be a nice drop, but BISU already thinking about that here with a cannon. Now let's have a look, where exactly is that dropship being placed here by HIYA. There it is. So he's going of course straight into this position. He very likely did a scan in here, so in comes HIYA with that dropship. BISU still tries to clear some mines in here, and even moving out here with another probe, so he might go for another expansion at the 6 o'clock position in here. So there is that dropship once again. Let's just see if he's going to make something happen in here. This could be a good drop, but this cannon is also very problematic here for HIYA, as he's placing down here a mine or 2 just to check this proximity, just to see exactly if BISU is going to expand in there. However, BISU has chosen this expansion point and the expansion, the second one here, not yet being finished here for HIYA, as his science vessel is also moving here out on the map, and the second science vessel is being produced. So HIYA wishes to counter here the Protoss with EMP, and also of course having detection against any invisible units here, just in case BISU goes for Dark Templars, but there will be an Arbiter. Of course the science vessel much needed against those Arbiter invisible units here as well. There's that shuttle with some zealots into it. Speed has not been done yet here for BISU for that shuttle, as this pylon is getting cancelled here by HIYA. And yeah, his expansion is slowly but steadily floating in here over. However, BISU, not really willing to allow this to happen, comes in here with a shuttle, with those zealots, but there's just so many vultures in here. I don't know if he should drop those, and he even takes so much damage out of those mines in here. So yeah, let's just see what BISU is going to be doing. Yeah, he's just going to perhaps lure those mines into one zealot or two, so nice clearance here of those mines. But in the end, the Terran has just way too much, so BISU needs to back off here a little bit and yeah, allow here this expansion to happen. But if you look at the economic advantage here, it is obviously here for BISU, as he's at 67 workers and also slowly but steadily closing in at a 200 supply mark in here. Finally BISU even expanding here into this position, the lower right position here for him. Really nice job here by him. Both players very macro orientated here in the late game. So yeah, let's just see this. Even a comp stat here being made, not that many SCVs into this position, so HIYA really needs to transfer some of those SCVs. There they are, and BISU once again in a defensive mode. Perhaps he needs more and more zealots, perhaps he's just waiting here for his Arbiter for a nice recall. Another Stargate is being added, so some carriers could also be an option here for him. So yeah, once again both players on the defense. Now let's have a look how things will unfold in here. 10 more workers here for BISU against his opponent. A nice placement here of those zealots, just to see exactly if the Terran is even expanding. Those vultures will outrun, of course, those dragoons in here, and in the end BISU tries perhaps to walk in here through, as he's closing in at a 200 supply mark, or is he going to prepare and drop here with those Arbiters? Or recall could be a nice idea here for him. At the same time, stasis also very strong here against the Terran opponent. If you, for example, stasis these units in here, they will be taken out of the game, so the Terran really needs to be careful. He needs to spread those units really nicely. So yeah, really nice defensive game we have here, and a great macro orientated game here as well. Let's just check those upgrades for those dragoons. Only 001. Those tanks, however, will be nicely upgraded here for HIYA. So HIYA, like I told you, putting much importance here for his upgrades, as the middle of the map is getting scouted now, and BISU transferring here more and more zealots, just pumping so many gateways here out. He knows his timing is really good, his economy is really strong. However, HIYA slowly but steadily catching out here, and remember HIYA's upgrades are here almost closing it at a 3 upgrades against only the 0 to 1. So perhaps BISU should also add a forge or two. So as I say that, of course, he's just also going to place those forges just to upgrade perhaps the plasma shield or the armor here for his units. Look at how many zealots he has in here, and let's have a look what the next perhaps attack is going to be prepared here for BISU. Or he might even try a recall in here, so we need to be very careful, as he's also expanded into this position. So BISU pretty much all over the map. He has an expansion not here and into this position, but if you look at the other locations, perhaps he's really soon going to prepare an expansion into this position. He's really much in control of the map with all of his forces almost maxed out. The same can be said here by the Terran, and the Terran decides here to move out, as they're finally going to meet up here in the front, but BISU decides to retreat. He even eats a EMP here out of this science vessel, so really nice done. He's regrouping another EMP in here, not that much energy here being left for this one Arbiter, so really nice stuff in here by the Terran, showing us the importance here of the science vessel. So BISU has to react. He has to place a stasis trap onto that science vessel. As still BISU still waiting here, still buying time, for his economy is already at 1k minerals. Same can be said here by HIYA, but BISU even expanding into this position here. So really great stuff here by him. I think slowly but steadily he will going to have so much map dominance, so much map awareness in here. And once again we have a good engagement here by both players. The ARP servers do take some damage in here. Nice siege up here by HIYA, and a great stasis trap, a nice EMP here, so both players are trading close. Really nice. In come the zealots here, the siege tanks are nicely sieged up here by HIYA, and all of those zealots have been obliterated, so BISU has to retreat here a little bit, as slowly but steadily the Terran feels very confident moving here forward. Those EMPs really hurting here BISU, as he loses so much here of his shields. The Terran keeps moving forward and forward, so HIYA showing us a nice tactic with that EMP. In comes some badly rallied zealots in here, so BISU is going to lose some of these as well, as he's retreating here now and perhaps wishes to regroup. Both players at the same supply amount, so here we go. BISU once again tries here and attack a nice high temper psionic storm, doing so much splash damage in here, and all of a sudden HIYA losing 10 supply in here, and also many tanks are being hurt here. However, HIYA still keeps pushing forward in here. BISU needs to regroup. He has the economic damage, but HIYA is adding so much here against him, and those siege tanks now are finally being sieged up. But this is what I told you, stasis trap just takes almost all of them out in here, and BISU can now bring here his reinforcements. He can surround here HIYA, so the importance of the arbiters once again being shown. However, at the same time HIYA is bringing here some of his reinforcements, not that many, and BISU slowly but steadily is going to surround here these units. At the same time HIYA is really pushing really strong in here, and BISU in some serious trouble. He is of course going to take out these forces, but his expansion is already taking so much damage in here. Finally we see some great action here in between these two players. Goliaths and mines into this position. High Templars are casting those Psionic Storm. HIYA really wishing to save here these units, but in come the reinforcements. EMP once again is out, and these units will fall, of course. Really nice, but at the same time HIYA cancelling here this expansion, so once again he's regrouping in here. And yeah, but he does know of course now that there is an expansion here, of course, and sadly I did miss this drop here by HIYA. At the same time BISU with his Dark Templar in here is not going to allow an expansion into this position. So really great stuff here by both players. Finally HIYA keeps pushing forward. He needs a good scan in here just to take out these cannons. So great splash damage in by here. His tanks should be 3-3 upgraded. Indeed they are. So really nice game. Let's just check those upgrades. Right, those Dragoons, 1 armor upgrades and 2 weapons upgrades here for BISU. So he's a little bit behind, and this is exactly why HIYA is just deciding to push here forward. He knows that his upgrades are slowly but steadily going to bring him an advantage in here, as BISU is moving once again forward. One High Templar is also being prepared here for Psionic Storm here against all of those units. Let's just have a look as we finally go into meet once again here in the middle of the map. BISU is going to take some splash damage as he has to retreat. In comes this Arbiter once again. He's going for this stasis perhaps, but it's getting immediately taken out by those Goliaths. And this shows us once again the strengths of the upgraded mechanical vehicles here by the Terran. Finally this expansion is up. HIYA will try perhaps to do a drop in here. However, we have a great engagement now in the middle of the map. Nice stasis, but still HIYA pushing here forward and forward with his tanks, with his vultures, and Goliath's reinforcements are also pouring in from all sides in here, as BISU is a little bit surrounded, so he needs to be careful how exactly he's going to deal with this nicely upgraded siege tank army and vulture. So here we go once again. In come those arbiters, in come those stasis trap. This is the nice move here by any Protoss. So the arbiters, such an important unit late on here if you're a Protoss. Look at how many tanks have been already taken out of the game in here, and even those science vessels on stasis. But these tanks are nicely being placed here, protected by these rocks, protected by the trees, and HIYA stays in position even though his tanks have been taken out. Both players at the 171 mark, both players at the 57 worker count in here. All of a sudden HIYA is catching up, but look at all of those SCVs in here not mining, so he really needs another expansion in here, and this is how he's actually going for the middle of the map in here, so he needs to be very careful to secure this position in here. So yeah, let's have a look how things will unfold. Finally all of those SCVs are being transferred. The major army here from HIYA is moving in. BISU is much hurt in here. A nice scan goes out. And let's have a look at the follow-up in here. Those upgrades really need to kick in now for those zealots. You see upgrading many more. Indeed, there's that plasma and that armor upgrade. And he's even adding many more arbiters in here. Finally, BISU is going to clear those mines in here. But the middle of the map is now being taken here by HIYA. So HIYA with a nice spreaded units in here. He's even going to take out here this expansion. So BISU once again reacting immediately with those stasis traps. And here we go, a good engagement this time by BISU as all of his army is into this position, and HIYA really needs to come in here with his reinforcements. It's going to take so much damage, but those tanks are really nicely placed here by him. So those zealots are really much hurt in here, but BISU seems to be having way too much in here. So finally HIYA is sieging up. Those zealots are coming in here, however very strong, and they're going straight in the middle of these tanks. Look at all of those tanks not attacking. Finally now he gets some connections. Vultures in here with some mines are going to take so much splash damage here against BISU, and this location might also be attacked, but there are cannons into this position. So both players nicely trading here blows, nicely trading supply. However, HIYA is coming in here with those tanks, and if these tanks make it here out, BISU might lose here this expansion as well. So really great move here by HIYA. Is BISU going to react with a counter here in the middle of the map? In comes those vultures, but these tanks here and here will deal so much splash damage, of course, against those cannons. Finally, BISU is coming in here. He's going straight for the middle of the map in here, and there's not that much to defend in here, only these reinforcements in here. So yeah, let's just see how. Perhaps you're going to see a psionic storm in here. Great psionic storm here against all of those units. BISU is coming in. He's going straight for this one command center. Great psionic storm once again, and he's actually sniping that command center. So nice move here by him. At the same time, he's going to, of course, lose this expansion here into this point, but he also sniped this great base here for the Terran. At the same time, he's expanding into this position. So really nice macro game here by both players. This one DT also dealing nice damage here against his opponent, and slowly but steadily HIYA is pushing here forward with those siege tanks and with those vultures. At the same time, once again, he's moving in here through, rebuilding here his expansion. So what a crazy long game indeed we have here in between these two pro players. I still don't know who's going to win it, as slowly but steadily we're closing it at a 25-minute mark in here. HIYA once again pushing out here with a strong army. BISU already waiting here for him, and BISU will of course lose here this expansion, as he's just trying to mine as much gas as possible in here. So yeah, let's have a look at the follow. BISU is spreading here his troops and tries to clear some mines, but in the end pretty soon HIYA is of course going to retake here the middle of the map. So once again HIYA should push here a little bit more further. Perhaps he's being interested into defending here against BISU's push out, as he's trading here position. Still this expansion is mining, interesting enough, as once again they might meet in here into this position. So yeah, BISU is transferring some of his units into this position. The same can be said here by HIYA, but he really needs to push here forward. BISU just says, thank you, if you don't wish to take out my expansion, I'm just going to be nicely mining here continuously. So HIYA finally should be reacting here. However, he's focused of course into the middle of the map. EMP might go out. Great EMP here, taking so much of those shields out, and now HIYA just wishing to find a good position now here for his troops. Let's have a look. Still this expansion is up. Finally the vulture is coming here through, not allowing any more mining in here, as things are settling down here a little bit. HIYA once again here into this position, once again mining, and HIYA perhaps wishing to cancel this expansion here as well. BISU, however, already waiting here for him. Let's just check those upgrades. How did they change? 2 to 1 to 3. So really nice job here by BISU, finally catching up. And HIYA is of course going to transfer some of those units into the middle of the map in here, just to take control of the map, as once again both players are trying to find a good position. Especially BISU here is moving forward here for a nice flank. EMP immediately goes out, so no more energy against those units. Nice defensive matrix, another EMP goes out here, and all of those siege tanks are so nicely being positioned here by the Terran. Look at all of that splash damage being dealt. So BISU once again has to retreat. Perhaps he's going to try a recall here. This could be a good position. And yeah, the middle of the map also is being nicely contested here by both players. So really great job here. Still BISU at many more workers here against his opponent, and 2k minerals. Is this going to be the advantage here? But there's just so much mechanical units in here for HIYA. So here we go, once again a good engagement here. BISU clearing all of those mines. However, eating all of those EMP shockwave really hurts his shields in here, as HIYA is moving here forward, but at the same time BISU could counter here with a counter attack. There's not that much here being left here by HIYA, so HIYA just leading some of those units. However, eats some nice EMP shock, some nice high temper psionic storm. Look at that nice storm in here, doing so much damage in here, as HIYA is moving now forward with those vultures just to snipe those probes. BISU still waits here with this counter attack, as there are some tanks into this position. And yeah, let's have a look at the follow-up, what exactly is going to happen. This position in the middle of the map is of course very much important, as once again the Terran is moving here forward with his troops. Slowly but steadily we're closing in at a 30-minute mark here already. So such a nice long and macro-oriented game here by both players. We might see some stasis traps in here. There they are, great stasis traps in here, and this is a nice placement here, a nice move here by BISU. However, he gets surrounded nicely here by HIYA, so BISU in some serious trouble in here. However, he deals so much splash damage against those dragoons. So really great job here once again by BISU in here, but he gets surrounded in the end from the higher flank. So once again both players are trading units in here. This one Dark Templar looks like he's going to deal so much damage towards those tanks in here. So really nice job here by BISU. Already sniping here 3 tanks, even 4, and now 5 as he's finally being taken out. So HIYA once again is moving forward. He really wishes to cancel here this expansion. And let's have a look at the follow-up in here. Perhaps he's going straight for this location in here. So the middle of the map is also nicely being secured by those tanks, as HIYA even producing more and more units in here. And finally he's moving here forward just to snipe here this base perhaps. So BISU will lose this expansion in here. His reinforcements are coming in, I see them on the map. There's just so many dragoons, so perhaps he's going to try a flank. Nice stasis trap once again. Reinforcements are coming in for both players. And let's have a look. The ramp is nicely being defended here by the Terran, but the expansion is still pumping here out, so perhaps he just wishes to snipe that expansion. As now some reinforcements are coming in here from the back here as well by BISU, but the Goliaths are nicely protecting here those tanks, as are these vultures. However, much more is being added here by BISU. And yeah, still anyone's game in here. So much damage is being dealt left and right in here. BISU tries to hold this position, but the mechanical buildings, the mechanical vehicles in here finally do cancel this building here. They do cancel that expansion. So nice move here by BISU, as he's by HIYA, as he's pushing here back. So great sniping this expansion, and perhaps he's going for this expansion here as well, as BISU is actually only mining now from this expansion here. So very interestingly enough here, and HIYA has the middle of the map in here for his mining. So yeah, what a crazy late game in here. BISU is rebuilding here this expansion. HIYA should know of course about this, as his mines are being laid here into this position and even expanding here into this position, but HIYA is not really going to allow this, as he's once again moving here out here with his tanks, sniping this probe. So great job here by HIYA with his mechanical orders. And there's even another expansion here. However, just gas is being mined in here. Nice EMP here before getting stasis trapped. So of course HIYA is not going to allow here BISU to expand once again. Really great job here by him. This expansion is the only move here by BISU, the only expansion that is mining anything. And let's just see how he's going to react to this. How exactly is HIYA going to finish this game? Perhaps he's going to attack into this position. It would be a very wise decision. However, BISU can also counter here the middle of the map, so this is exactly what he's doing with his 4 arbiters in the front with those zealots. Nice stasis trap by those arbiters. So much EMP is being casted, and in the end so many tanks are taken out of the game here with this stasis trap. However, in come the reinforcements, luckily here for HIYA with those vultures and those mines also dealing some damage here against the opponent, as this base is very important here for BISU. BISU once again regrouping here into his expansion point. Perhaps he's going to try a flank from the back in here. We're about to find out exactly what BISU is going to be doing. So yeah, let's just see exactly what's going to happen in here. As BISU keeps pushing forward in here, he's going to try a flank. Perhaps a recall, it would be an interesting idea. However, look at that. Now HIYA is moving out into this position. Perhaps he wishes to expand here into this position, as BISU is, interestingly enough, moving here forward, perhaps just to kill those 2 tanks in here and that 1 dropship. So a repositioning here by BISU. Nice EMP once again here by HIYA, as BISU is, interesting enough, going to take the high ground. Perhaps he really wishes to retake here this position, and those high tempers will be sniped, of course, by those vultures in here. So both players will meet once again here up in the middle of in the upper left part here of the map. And let's just see exactly how things will unfold in here, as those high tempers will be very important here for those psionic storms. So here we go, one nice psionic storm taking out here a tank. Or perhaps it was just a move in here just to recall all of those units into another position. It would be a nice move in here by BISU, as 2 tanks are still securing here this position. Some vultures are coming in here on the map. Slowly but steadily, HIYA is moving here forward against his opponent, and all of a sudden BISU at only 130 supply here versus the Terran. However, BISU with a nice recall in here cancels here this expansion. So this is the advantage here for BISU. He has recall, of course, for his arbiters. He's much more mobile here. He can lure the Terran into a position and then just recall onto another position. But the siege tanks are also nicely being placed here by HIYA. So BISU staying here into this position. It's just a waiting game now. HIYA is moving forward. He really wishes to cancel this expansion and just deal so much damage against those units. Nice, not that nice of a high temper storm in here, but his units can be recalled. So this is the question: did BISU recall? However, here are some of his arbiters going to attack some of those tanks. Nice cannon here, as once again the high templars will be sniped immediately here by those vultures. So HIYA not allowing here a expansion. This point is also not being expanded, and those arbiters finally will be attacked by those Goliaths in here, as the small army group in here will also be very likely killed here by HIYA. So HIYA decides to move back. Perhaps he's going straight for some production buildings in here. Perhaps he's just going to secure here the middle of the map. Mines are slowly but steadily, minerals are slowly but steadily moving out here for both players, so not that much is being left here on the map. Those arbiters, very much important, need to be protected, as HIYA is just spreading here his units, securing perhaps the middle of the map in here. Let's just have a look. Yeah, he's going straight for the middle of the map, and once again his vultures are into a nice position, but he's going to snipe some probes in here, perhaps lay some mines in here. But the forces here for BISU are just being spread all over the map. Some of his groups are here, some here, and his reinforcements are into this position. So this could be a good point here for the Terran, as sadly for BISU, one of his arbiters gets sniped in here. So let's have a look what his idea is going to be. He's just going to kill perhaps these 2 tanks. So in this stage of the game, every kill counts in here. Even though those arbiters aren't dealing so much damage, every kill is very important here for both players. In comes once again HIYA, sniping those high templars. Perhaps BISU is going to morph an Archon into it, but slowly but steadily BISU just losing more and more units in here. And yeah, what exactly, who is going to win this game? It's very close, very interesting. Some of the mines will be cleared now here by BISU, but this position has been lost, so Terran might upload here a command center into this position. There's that command center, he might once again secure here his expansion. And yeah, what is BISU's idea going to be in here? He's sniping some of those tanks, so both players are losing lots and lots of supplies. However, if this position is not being taken here by BISU, he's going to be in some serious trouble. He's also mining here from a little patch. And yeah, of course, this position will be soon outmined as well. So BISU is trying to come in here with so many arbiters. He might do a recall, nice recall in here by him, but he's also taking so much splash damage here. Another recall here into this position. So much splash damage is being taken here, but BISU still has some dragoons in here. Sadly for him, he has fallen to 86 supply. He might try to snipe here this expansion. Once again, in come the vultures, placing some of those mines. Those mines are very important in here, so are those siege tanks, just to deal damage against those units. Even this one supply, even this one science vessel will be sniped in here, but so much has been lost here for BISU. A nice move in here, but he just landed straight onto those mines, and so many units have fallen here once again for BISU. Perhaps he's going to try another drop in here. No, it's just a stasis trap in here. And let's have a look at the follow-up. Not that much supply is being left in here by BISU, as this expansion is of course so much important. In comes those reinforcements, those science vessels, and things all of a sudden look very good here for the Terran, as BISU only being left with a couple of arbiters in here. Let's have a look. Some high Templars are into this position, but these arbiters will be fended of course off if there are some Goliaths going to come in here. So arbiters still dealing some damage here against of those SCVs. However, once again, in comes a nice army move out here by HIYA, as he's very likely going straight into this position just to snipe that. So in comes another science vessel in here. There's that one Goliath. So much tankiness here, given the fact that he's upgraded, and the reinforcements are coming in here for HIYA. So BISU, sadly for him, I don't know if he can make it here out. A nice stasis trap, but that is of course going to be the GG, as in came here the reinforcements by HIYA, who would snipe here this expansion. So what a crazy long micro-oriented game. In the end, the Terran proving way too strong, and I think what was very important was the fact that his upgrades were really high early on. So this bringing him of course the victory here, and a nice strategic game here. Let's just check those stats really quick if you guys are interested. Once again, I'm going to be clicking left and right for you guys. Such a long game, 36 minutes. Really nice game here by both players from South Korea. Okay guys, once again I hope you enjoyed this replay as much as I did. We'll be seeing of course each other in the next replay. This is Tommy signing out.